Good evening, folks, and welcome to Acoustic Nights at the Meeting Place online, organised by Louise and Alan Mayers. And I'd like to thank them both for inviting me onto this series. I'm going to start off with a song that I wrote about Glasgow, my birthplace, and it's called The Dear Green Place. That's the affectionate name we have for Glasgow. And the first verse in this song refers to the origins, the legendary origins of Glasgow, whereby a monk called Kentigern, also St Mungo he was called, allegedly found a missing wedding ring belonging to the Queen of Strathclyde. He found it in the belly of a salmon in a wee stream called the Mollendowner that runs into the Clyde River. And the Queen was so relieved and happy about this that she granted him some land upon which he built a church. So that's supposed to be the beginnings of the parish of Glasgow. And then we just wheek through the centuries for the rest of the song. The Dear Green Place. Salmon ran through the river stream, and they salted them by the banks of Clyde, and the faces glowed as the silver flowed, and the place arose by the riverside. There was cloth to dye and hose to buy. The traders came from all around, and they raised a glass to the dear green place, the place that was a town. Was green, and the river flowed to the sea. The river flows forever on, but the dear green place is gone. When the furnaces came to fire the iron, and folk were thrown from the foreign land, then the Irishman and the Highland man and the hungry man came with willing hands. They wanted work, a place to live, their empty bellies needed filled, and the farmyard was another world from the dirty overcrowded mill. Now you may have heard of the foreign trade and fortunes made by tobacco lords, but the working man slaved his life away, and an early grave was his sole reward. A dreary room, a crowded slum, disease and hunger everywhere, and the price to pay was another day to fight the anger and despair. There is a town that once was green, and a river flowed to the sea. The river flows forever on, perhaps tomorrow it yet may be the dear green place again. There is a town that once was green, and a river flowed to the sea. The river flows forever on, but the dear green place is gone. The Dear Green Place. Well, this next song is about a place not too far away from Glasgow, and that's the town of Kilmarnock. It's a song called The Rickerton Tollman's Daughter. And I was in Kilmarnock one day and I was looking in a shop window and I saw this photograph from the 1860s or thereabouts. And it was a photograph of a bunch of folk playing the game of curling, and they were wearing these huge boots, most of them, and muckle hats, and it was such an iconic photograph. It gave me an idea for this song, which is basically in the style of a kind of traditional folk love ballad where a young guy goes out for a walk and meets a lassie and they start talking and romance blossoms. So in that respect, it's quite a conventional form for that song, but what makes it a wee bit different is that you've got curling and Kilmarnock in it. So this is quite unusual. So Rickerton, by the way, was a wee village outside of Kilmarnock in the 19th century, but gradually as Kilmarnock grew, it swallowed up Rickerton, so it's now part of Kilmarnock. So there you go, a bit of geography as well. So Rickerton Tollman's Daughter. As I was walking through old Killytown, it was at the back end of November. My gaze was drawn to a gathering of folk, all assembled by the Kilmarnock water. In the dreich winter's morn, a game was well begun, and the curling stains slid back and forwards, and the breaths like clouds drifted upwards to the skies, with the whoops and the cries of the teams of curlers. My attention was drawn to a young bonny lass as she stood and watched. As a close observer, my eyes were consumed as she followed all the play, and she cheered on her father and her brother. I gaed and I spoke and I told her my name. She said she was cried Jean Alexander. She lived with her folk at the Rickerton Toll, and she was the tollman's only daughter. At the end of the game, her father came across and he shook my hand and he looked me over. He says, "Young man, come and join us on the road." Then he took her in and we walked together, and when we had won to the Rickerton Toll, I was asked outside for a drink and a blather. That was the start of the winning o' my heart and the courting o' the Tolman's dochter. Here's a health to the good folk o' Old Killytoon, the engineers and the carpet workers, the wobsters, the coopers, the distillers o' the dram, the women folk and their sons and daughters. Here's to the winter that brought us all the snow and the ice that froze Kilmarnock water. Here's to the cuddlers that brought me to my love, the Rickerton Tolman's only daughter. And there you have it, the Rickerton Tolman's only daughter. We'll go back in time for the next piece, back further in time, and this comes from the 18th century and the aftermath of the Jacobite rebellion. This was a lovely tune composed not too long after 1745. And then the story, there's another story behind it. It concerns Charles Edward Stuart, Bonnie Prince Charlie, being whisked off the battlefield in Culloden and ensconced in a safe house not too far away. And apparently, while he was there, he was aware that there was, from the next room, he could hear some whispering, and he was petrified that he was going to be caught, discovered, and whisked away. And he apparently knocked on the door, the adjoining door, and when it opened, he was confronted by the sight of two wee lassies that were just playing on the floor of the next room. And he is reputed to have exclaimed, "Hard is my fate when the innocent prattle of little girls frightens me so." So the tune is called "Hard is my fate," or in Gaelic, "Nach trua mo chas." So here we go. nach trua mo chas. And now, a change of instrument. This is a song called Covenanter. It's about Scots Presbyterians in the southwest of Scotland in the 17th century. And they were holding illegal meetings outdoors, religious meetings, and being hunted by the King's Dragoons. This is King Charles II I'm talking about. The Covenanters didn't like the idea of a king telling them how they should practice their religion, and he wasn't too happy with that attitude. So he had ousted the ministers from their parishes, which was why they were having these illegal meetings. They were regarded as rebels as far as he was concerned. So they had these meetings in the full knowledge that dragoons were looking for them, would break up the meetings, arrest the leaders, and maybe even worse, kill some of the people. So, Covenanter. Covenanter, your sword and your Bible by your side. The riders and the forces of the king are close behind. If they take you, you're sure to be a martyr. You'd better be prepared to meet your maker. Covenanter, this land is riven with dissent. For some adhere to royalty, and some to parliament, and some maintain the covenant, an oath they can disdain. They're not constrained by loyalty or honour. The horsemen took you by surprise. Your sentries never saw them, for the sun was in their eyes. They rode among the worshippers and waved their swords above them, and you fled amid confusion and disorder. Covenanter, your sword and your Bible by your side. The riders and the forces of the king are close behind. If they take you, you're sure to be a martyr. You'd better be prepared to meet your maker. Covenanter. And now the hunt is on. You can see the lanterns flickering and dancing in the wind, and you hear a cry of triumph, and your heart is beating faster, for you know another brother has been cornered. Covenanter, your sword and your Bible by your side. The riders and the forces of the king are close behind. If they take you, you're sure to be a martyr. You'd better be prepared to meet your maker. Covenanter, try not to stumble on a stone. If it tumbles and betrays you, you'll surely be undone. And you'll know about their justice when you're staring at their steel. They'll be laughing while you're sent to the hereafter. Covenanter, your sword and your Bible by your side. The riders and the forces of the king are close behind. If they take you, you're sure to be a martyr. You'd better be prepared to meet your maker. Covenanter. Now the darkness is your friend, and you wonder when this desperate hide and seek will ever end. If the mist would just descend for once and let you slip away, you'd escape the retribution and the slaughter. Covenanter, your sword and your Bible by your side. The riders and the forces of the king are close behind. If they take you, you're sure to be a martyr. You'd better be prepared to meet your maker. Covenanter, 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 Covenanter. The dramatic story of the Covenanter. Okay, we'll move forward in time to almost the present day, and this is a song about the demise of the coal industry, specifically in the east of Scotland. It's a song called Rough Diamonds, and it mentions something called the Nancy Tuch. This is a walkway that's near the town of Gorebridge, and was a favourite meeting place for miners after a hard day's work, to have a wee bit of relaxation out in the open air, go for a stroll, be in the company of their pals or their wives or their sweetheart, or all of these, I suppose. So anyway, it's called Rough Diamonds. In the good old days of the Lothian mines, plenty of coal, prosperous times, roaring fires, a warming glow, bairns playing games with a bow on Miners' Row. In the good old days of the Lothian mines, in the good old days you began your shift, a pick and a shovel, a hard day's graft, nae sun nor rain nor starry night, in an underworld of artificial light. In the good old days of the Lothian mines, in the good old days of the Lothian mines, when work was done and you had a drouth, a stroll with your mates on the Nancy Tuch, a pint or three, a saunter hame, and soon enough it was time to rise again. In the good old days of the Lothian mines, in the good old days of the Lothian mines, rough diamonds. You worked and toiled with your fellow man, with loyal women close at hand. Bonds were strong in peace or strife, and the world could never comprehend the life. In the good old days of the Lothian mines, in the good old days of the Lothian mines, rough diamonds. My granda was a skinny lad when he went down to mine. He ended with a rasping cough and hosty kissed, like all the rest, an empty shell worn out afore his time. Rough diamonds, rough diamonds, Smeaton, Emily and the Gore, Moat and Klondike are no more. Sleepy tunes, the pitch long gone, and who is pining now for their return? How many mourn for the Lothian mines? How many yearn for the Lothian mines? The good old days of the Lothian mines, rough diamonds, rough diamonds, rough diamonds. Rough diamonds. Rough diamonds. And now it's back to the keyboard. Well, folks, we've come to the last number. Before I play it, it's my thanks again to Louise and Alan Mayers for inviting me here tonight. And I'm going to finish with a song which you could say is a love song for older people, and it's called Just a Boy. And before I play it, I'd just like to say I'm not looking personally for any money for this broadcast, but we're coming up to Christmas time and New Year time. A lot of people are in great hardship. So if you feel like donating any money at all, I will make sure that it's used towards food banks in the area that I live, just north of Glasgow. And the details of where you can donate money will be posted at the end of the video. So, Just a Boy. Oh, love of mine, when we were first as one, I thought that I was strong enough for anything. A look, a touch from you and I would turn and follow like a little clockwork toy. The grass grew tall and fast before I saw it grow. The kettle whistled long before I even heard it blow. And all the while I thought that I was in control. But now I know that I was just a boy. The candle lights, the sparkle in your eyes, reminding me of diamonds I am looking for. I stumble on through quicksand and through fires, and all the while your smile lights up the day. The ghost of childhood dreams still haunt the older man. They summon discontent for all those lost abandoned plans, and worry is his partner come to take his hand. When all is said and done, he's just a boy. The wool, the tweed, the leather I will don to keep me warm when winter winds are howling. I would not care for me if you were gone. Without you there is nothing to enjoy. Though plastic cards and paper seem to take me far, and hustlers try to catch my eye and seek to bend my ear, all that's dear to me awaits behind one door, to welcome home the one that's just a boy. And though that flush of youth is gone forevermore, to you I know this one is still a boy. Thank you for watching. See you sometime.